2015 has only just begun, and there's no way of telling what's to come for our beloved world of Pokemon. We're currently in the dark about any details, but it wouldn't hurt to predict what the next game could be. I would like to ask to please listen to this video with an open mind. I won't be talking about anything absurd, but there may be some topics that you may not agree with. Just please, remember that opinions are opinions, and I hope you'll enjoy this video. Let's jump right into the details, starting with Game Freak's pattern of releasing handheld games. As you may be aware, to start, they typically release two games, a new generation of Pokemon into the series, followed by either a remake of the older games, or a sequel of the newest generation. The sequel being either legit sequels like Black and White 2, or a single game which combines the unique elements of both games and polishes it off. They may even add new story elements to it to make the game more appealing to those who have already played a game in that generation. Pokemon Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, and Platinum are all examples of this type of game. In 2012, Game Freak shook up the easy-to-predict pattern by releasing Black and White 2. There has never been a numeric sequel to the series before this, with a complete overhaul of the entire region and story. Think back to 2010 for a moment. Everyone, and I mean everyone, thought, oh, Pokemon White and Black? Oh my god, if you mix Black and White, it makes Gray! The next Pokemon game's gonna be Pokemon Gray! Yay! And what happened exactly? Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Game Freak knew that the same old formula was getting old, as their fans were anticipating Pokemon Gray. Not only that, but sales of Pokemon were slumping. I'm supposing that they wanted to try something new to breathe some life into the Pokemon series. And this leads us to today with Pokemon X and Y. I'm sure you've all heard it before. You know, people saying, the next game's gonna be Pokemon Z because X, Y, and Z! Also, Zygarde starts with Z and it'll be focused around him, yeah! Yeah, hey, listen buddy, I know my ABCs as well as the next guy, but I'm telling you, this is exactly what Game Freak wants you to think. It's surely what they made people think about Pokemon Gray, which never happened. Besides, Kalos, in my opinion, had a very lame storyline, dull characters, and it was just a non-memorable region. It would be a bad idea to make a single polished sequel like Emerald or Crystal. So, if I'm right, and they're not releasing Pokemon Z, will that mean they'll be releasing X2 and Y2? The short answer is, maybe. They had just done this method last generation with Black 2 and White 2, and in my opinion, they were better games than the first Black and White. The situation is like Unova all over again. Many fans, including myself, were not satisfied with X and Y's story and characters. Creating an X2 and Y2 could redeem Kalos, kind of how it redeemed Unova, in my opinion. By adding a new, and hopefully good, storyline, new places to explore, and making Team Flare return with, well, more of a flair. But will this happen? Is this the more likely possibility than, say, Pokemon Z? Well, in my opinion, yes. Games like Emerald or Crystal never actually sold all too much, yet Black 2 and White 2 yielded better results in sales. Game Freak may just stick to numerical sequels as it has proven to be more profitable. But, you know, there's always a possibility that they could do something totally unforeseen. Okay, for all you Gen 1ers, I just want to tell you that the Gen 1 remakes aren't going to happen. At least not this year. They could be coming in 2016 or hell, 2017. But Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire just came out last year, and they won't produce two remakes in 2 years. But you know Nintendo. They will happen, it's just a matter of when. For everyone who were calling for Sinnoh remakes, well, I don't think those are going to happen until the next Nintendo handheld after the 3DS. Truth is, those games are only 8 years old. Compare it to Ruby and Sapphire when they were 12 when they got their remakes. Unless the 3DS is going to be around in like 3 or 4 years, trust me, Sinnoh will be remade on the next console. If you look back to 2011, Black and White were released in North America. Also, in 2013, X and Y were released. Take note that this was only a 2-year difference between generations. Could this mean that a new generation may grace our 3DS screen? No. 6th Gen was developed so close to 5th, in part to push 3DS sales, and transition the series into a new console. But we must ask ourselves, is there a possibility that no games could come out for handheld this year? Well, maybe. There have been a few years in which no handheld Pokémon games were released, and frankly, we're kinda due for another one of those years. You may be wondering, well, what about the Wii U? Personally, I think Nintendo may try to capitalize on the recent surge of Wii U sales by developing a new Pokémon RPG, like Pokémon Colosseum and Gala Darkness. Hell, they could even put those two games on the eShop if they wanted to. A game like that may push Wii U sales even further and pump more life into the modern-day Pokémon franchise. I know, personally, I would be hyped for a game like that. So, to recap, Pokémon Z probably is not going to happen. Pokémon X2 and Y2 have a better possibility than Pokémon Z. Generation 1 remakes aren't going to happen this year, but I'm almost certain that they will happen sometime soon. Sinnoh remakes, I think you're gonna have to wait a while. Again, I could be completely wrong about all of these, so don't take my word for this, as these are just opinions. All in all, there will be no way of predicting for certain what's to come. Yet, I hope this video sheds some light on some of the possibilities. Feel free to voice your opinions in the comments below. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and by the way, I plan on releasing more Pokemon related videos. If interested, hit that subscribe button.